Hello, Allison Verhalen here, coming at you live real quick. This is going to be a short video, partly because I have to run into a meeting in a few minutes, but also because this is a fairly quick topic, but it is super important. It's all about keywords, right? How to make sure you're targeting the right keywords so you can get in front of the right people at the right time. That's kind of a lot, I know, but each one of those things is super critical. It's I think we talk a lot in marketing about making sure you're getting in front of the right people. We don't always talk about the importance of making sure you're getting in front of them at the right time, but that is at least as important as making sure you're talking to the right people. I'm not going to say it's more important, but it's up there. Just because getting in front of someone who is um, maybe they've already hired someone else, maybe they're interested but they're not ready to hire yet, maybe they don't have the funds yet. Lots of reasons people might not be ready to hire you right now, but they might be ready to hire you later on, right? So that's when we can talk about strategies to stay top of mind, and that's a whole other video. Right now I want to talk to you about making sure you're targeting relevant keywords. So I was talking to someone, I think this was last year, where she was wanting to do a content audit of her website just because she had a ton of content on her website. She had maintained it for years, was one of the few people who's actually really good about making sure that she was consistently putting out new content, and it was really good content, but she had shifted the focus of her business recently. So a lot of the content that was on her website no longer made sense for what she was currently doing. So that's when we get into, does it make sense to edit this content and republish it? Does it make sense to just delete it? Do we just want to get rid of it? So we were talking, I got kind of curious. So I decided to do just a quick domain analysis of her website just to see some of the top keywords that she was she was ranking for or showing up for. And she laughed at how off the mark some of them were. They were just so bad. She's like, oh gosh, that's so old. And some of them, she was like, I don't know, right? And it could just be like one or two weird posts that use that term in and happened to be a good term at a good time. And Google went ahead and ranked her for it. So yay, except that had nothing to do with what she was offering, right? And people searching for that term, if they find her website, they're not going to find what they need on that website. So they're going to click away. Google is going to see that they clicked away and be like, oh, this website is not relevant. So, I mean, that could just hurt her SEO for that particular keyword, but it could also hurt her overall SEO. So you really want to keep an eye on that. So this is why it's so important to check your domain authority, do this domain analysis, do an SEO audit, do a content audit on a regular basis. Make sure you're showing up for the stuff that you want to be showing up for. That being said, how can you make sure that the keywords that you're using are the right keywords? I would like for it to check 5 boxes. It doesn't have to check. It should check all 5. Some of them are a little, can go either way. The last one in particular, I'll get to that when I get to that. But the first one has to relate to a product or service that you provide, right? Because if it doesn't, then why are you talking about it? Ideally, this should every piece of content you create should be to market your business. If you are marketing someone else's business, or if you're talking about stuff that's fun, that's great. I talk about stuff that's fun all the time. I have a whole website talking about fun stuff. I don't talk about it on my business website because that's not what it's there for. I only talk about stuff that is related to my products and services on my my website. So another example of this is I used to provide social media marketing services. And so I had some blog posts about social media marketing. I no longer provide social media marketing services. So I no longer have those blog posts. I don't put out any new content about social media. And I don't have those old posts about social media marketing. I will occasionally share someone else's tips for social media marketing on my social media just because it is kind of related to what I do. And that way I can promote my power partners because I do work with people who do social media marketing, but they're not a direct competitor of mine. And I'm still providing value to my audience because if they want to know about content marketing, they probably want to know about social media marketing as well. So, but the content you provide for your website has to relate to a product or service you provide, has to relate to a pain point that your clients are experiencing that you solve for them. It has to, people have to use this keyword, right, at a specific point in the buyer journey, right? So, for example, not the title of this video, but another, my blog post that I put up just recently was all about, I put a how-to in the title because everyone loves a good how-to, right? And a how-to is great for blog posts. Not great for a landing page. That's not what people go to a landing page for. They search how-to so they can learn about something, not so they can buy something. Unless they're searching how to buy such and such, in which case maybe put that in a blog post. And then at the end, your call to action can be, by the way, if you want to buy this, I sell it over here. It has to it has to ask a question you can answer, right? So again, with the how to, use keywords, how to make sure you're using keywords the right way, how to make sure you're targeting keywords, those are all questions I can answer. So of course I'm going to be targeting those keywords, right? If it has to do with, like I said, social media marketing, I know just enough about social media marketing to be dangerous, but I know there are people out there who know a lot more about it than I do. And especially when you get into like specific channels, there are people who are really good at one channel. So I can direct you to those people, but I'm not going to answer those questions for you because, like I said, I know just enough, but there are people who know a lot more than I do. I cannot answer those questions as well as someone else could. Next, all right. This is the one that you got to take with it. You have to be careful with, right? So websites in your industry or related industries need to be using this keyword. Now, there's a huge caveat to this one, because if it's a super popular keyword and everyone is already using it, then you're not going to have a chance of ranking for that keyword because everyone else is already using that keyword and Google is already ranking all of those other websites. So you're going to be buried on page 10 or whatever of Google. So that's not going to do you any good. But if it's a good keyword and that, there's not a ton of competition out there, not a whole lot of people using it, but the people who are using it have nothing to do with your industry. They're off in a completely different field and they're using this keyword you're searching. That is an indication that people are looking for that thing when they are searching that keyword. They're not looking for you. So that's an indication that you might want to use a different keyword, maybe rework it. Another thing to look at is the related keywords that pop up every time you search a keyword. Underneath, you'll have a related keyword section. Look at the related keywords and make sure that they are related to what you're talking about. If they're talking about something completely different, then you probably need a completely different keyword. So that is it. Those are all the tips I have for you today. Again, this is why it's so important to do a content audit and SEO audit of your website on a regular basis. At the very least, do a quick domain analysis. Lots of tools out there to do it. Again, my favorite tool, SERPstat, but you've also got Moz. You got a whole bunch of other tools. I think SEMrush allows you to do a domain analysis. So check out a tool that works well for you so you can see what you're ranking for. Also, if you have Google Analytics, that should also tell you which keywords you're ranking for. So look there. And that is it. That is everything I have for you today. If you want to check out more information like this, that is over at my website, AV, as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. You can always reach me directly at info@avwritingservices.com. Other than that, have a great week and happy blogging, everyone.